Bull or bear? Let's see what happens here. I'm going a 2024 year of the dragon coin. And she comes up a bear. Let's see what happens. How you doing, folks? Got the live snapper cam up here, and as you can see, all huddled together. I guess there's safety in numbers like that to some degree, not always though. And there's your predator. If you can't see him, he's lurking right down there. Good sized cuda. Saw a bunch of barracudas around, but this is not the fishing cam here. I want to hit that live picture real quick, see what's going on. Oh, there they are, spread out a little bit more. I guess the cudas are gone. That's what happens when predators leave. You kind of become more complacent, and then bang, they get you. Hang on one second. Let me, again, not a fishing video, but let me move into, what a great picture today. Let's move into today's video, which is exiting my screen first here. And wow, you know, folks, lately it's occurred to me, you know, what a long, strange trip it's been. And I know, boo, some of you know where that phrase came from, but it really has been. It's been just a crazy trip there, and I had AI make me a picture of the gold and silver markets, conveniently left out silver, just put it in the railing. I guess maybe that's something to be said about that. And by the way, when you start to take a look at it in the AI picture, you realize how inept they really are. It's got it coming off the tracks. Didn't put the silver I asked for in there. Got a little girl sitting there. I don't even know what, she's being smashed by this guy. None of them are wearing seat belts, and there's some creature in the background. So there you go. There's your AI. But maybe that's what gold is really like. To some degree, it's just a crazy, wild ride that comes off the track sometime. And silver. But we're ultimately, folks, it's been a long, strange trip, and it's a fun ride, I think, because, you know, we're headed upwards. That's where gold and silver ultimately goes. Don't worry about it. You know, we've not seen any major capitulation by any real stackers out there. The only drops you're seeing in the price of gold and silver is just capitulation. Not even capitulation, it's just monkey hammering in the COMEX, CRIMEX paper markets. I mean, pure and simple. Where were we last Friday when we closed at 26.50, 30.65, 946.59? You know, I was really surprised at the strength of silver right here at 30.65 because I fully expected to see a holiday smackdown, you know, bigger than what we've seen right here. But don't, you know, we still got Monday morning. So let's see what happens tomorrow in the overnight markets tonight. But I did think I saw on Thursday at one point we did see a drop below 30, $29 on Thanksgiving evening or in the early morning or something like that. You can take a look for yourself. I don't think many stackers were able to trade on it because everybody was closed. However, I guess somebody was able to buy at that 29 sub $30 level, probably a bunch of paper again. But gold holding up, not too bad, 26.50. Again, I thought we might see even a little bit bigger smackdown on gold and silver. Platinum holding in there at that mid-9 range. Let's see what happens tonight in the opening markets and see what happens tomorrow, Monday morning, when we get the New York CRIMEX markets opening. I guess they're all CRIMEX markets, aren't they? So what is driving the price of gold, silver, and platinum for some time? Well, most of us know this, but for some of you that don't follow the news and don't kind of keep an eye on things all the time, are new to buying gold and silver, and some of you folks that have been buying it for a long time, let's just talk about a few things. Primarily, in my opinion, you know, real yields is a good view. You know, this chart is a great chart to look at because, let me first give the interpretation what the long trends chart talks about here. It plots the price of 1 ounce of gold, as you see here, and expected a real 10-year inflation adjusted rate, interest rate. Now remember, the expected real 10-year inflation adjusted rate that they use this chart right here is based on official government numbers, which a lot of people feel are skewed anyway and don't truly reflect what the cost of living is, or that the numbers have been monkeyed around with for years and years and years. Boy, monkey is a theme today too, and you'll see that in a little bit as well. But the real interest rate is defined as the difference between the nominal interest rate and the expected or actual inflation rate. The real yield in the chart above is calculated by subtracting blah, blah, blah. All right, so you kind of get the point there, and if you don't, you can read this. It's a pretty good chart. But interestingly enough, here's the strange thing. As you see the price of gold over time, ultimately, gold does just move up in value. We've had our peaks and valleys, 2012, 1985, silver in particular, but we're just talking about gold right now. And where gold goes, silver will eventually, ultimately follow to some degree, at least in the ratios that we've seen, in that 60, what is it, 60 to 80 to 1, until things kind of move, until silver moves up dramatically more. But again, I'm talking about gold right now, and the versus real yield. Sorry about that. Went a little sideways there, and here we go. I mean, just look at the price of gold moving up overall, and yields moving down. Okay, that's typical kind of behavior in which you would expect. As what we've been told over time is that higher interest rates and people are getting higher interest rates in 10-year treasuries or whatever that's paying a higher rate. People are going to get out of gold, and exactly why. Here you go down here. It says explanation for the relationship, because rising interest rates also mean rising opportunity cost of holding gold. Gold never pays a dividend nor interest. Doesn't pay, and it's true. Gold does not pay dividend and interest, and that's not why we buy it anyway, but I digress. Thus, it is relatively inexpensive to hold it in the portfolio when real interest rates are high. On the other hand, when real yields are negative, holders of cash and bond are losing wealth. In such a scenario, they may more be prone to buy gold. And again, this kind of plays out in this chart, as you can see over time. When interest rates were higher, gold prices seem to go up overall. But let's take a look. Where do we see higher interest rates and gold kind of falling? There you go, right there. Gold falling a little bit. Interest rates kind of peaking right there in 2008, right before the fall, and then interest rates again are reduced substantially, and you're into negative territory. Of course, you can tell that's that 2012-2008 period where they were lowering interest rates substantially. I don't remember if the United States got sub-zero at that point. But here's the interesting thing. Look, price of gold is again moving up. And again, as interest rates fall, gold seems to fall as well. There seems to be a correlation between those two things for quite some time here until we get to here. What is here? Well, I don't know exactly what that is right there. There we go. But where is the critter? I'm trying to see when the critter kind of comes in. 2020. Kind of all haywire right here. But look, here's where the line just kind of totally separates from each other. Gold starts to rise substantially in that 2022 period, folks. And take a look at interest rates. Interest rates start to rise too. And there's the numbers here. Even though if you don't believe the real rates here, even if you don't believe what the real yields are based on government numbers, in that case, this would even be worse. The real yields number would even be worse than that. It's just totally separated. Real yields versus gold have totally separated off the chart. I mean, in a big way. And the explanation for that, is simply, I think it's just de-dollarization, and the loss of faith in the U.S. dollar, I think, is the primary reason we're seeing that. And, who and why is the price of gold continuing to go up? Who is the 800-pound gorilla out there that has divested themselves of U.S. treasuries, U.S. dollars? Besides Russia, that's the 800-pound gorilla out there. And what are they replacing U.S. treasuries and U.S. dollars with? They're replacing it with gold, folks, all right? Because gold seems to be the thing that will back up their currencies and back up their financial system in a major way. So the major 800-pound gorilla out there in the gold markets, in some degree, I guess silver as well, is the Chinese. But remember, where gold goes, silver will ultimately follow. And you think the Chinese have been trying to drive the price up of gold for years and years? Hell no. Not purposely. When I say the Chinese, I don't talk about Xi himself. I'm just talking about, in general, the economic planning, the economic plans that the the Communist Party, has for its country, all right? And I'm sure, it's a group of people. It's a group of people that are pretty smart that are coming up with this figure that they want their citizens to own gold. What's the difference between them and the United States? Well, we don't have a group of smart citizens working in government. I'm sorry. All right, I digress. All right, but there's your 800-pound gorilla out there, folks, and you can see it in the news everywhere. Even GATA, gata.org, by the way, which is a great site. If you're new to my videos, definitely subscribe to gata.org. It's a free website that you can read. And once you start looking at the articles and some of the things they post, you'll see why. Russia imposes temporary ban on export of precious metals. But hold on, let's get out of that. That's kind of an interesting article. But here you go. Eastern European central banks are now among the biggest buyers of gold. No kidding. Okay. China expands trading to acquire more Western gold and silver. No kidding. Trump replaces 100% of that, replaces the U.S. dollar. Well, this is kind of what we were just talking about. It ties in. What is China replacing the dollar with? Well, here, folks, acquiring more Western gold. What are they doing? They're trading those dollars for gold here. They're giving us back our worthless paper, overprinted worthless paper. They're sending it back in the boatloads, and they're taking gold in the boatloads as replacement for that. And why are they buying gold? Not because they think they're going to coin gold and they're going to make gold coins and pass them out to the Chinese citizen. They want gold in that country in any capacity. It increases the wealth of the capacity, or the wealth of the country overall, especially the government, who can, again, back their currency, their paper fiat with gold, something the United States doesn't do. Big advantage China will have, as with other countries that will back their currency with gold or hard assets. Not bullshit imaginary ones and zeros. I'm sorry, you can't back your government with that. Even the Chinese know that. Meanwhile, they'll encourage us to do it. So will the Russians probably. All right, I digress again. So that's just, this is just why the Chinese are buying gold, why the Russians are buying gold, why the BRICS nations are buying gold. This is exactly why. Let's move up here a little bit. How we could end the Federal Reserve. Good on Peter for that right there. Couldn't argue with that more. By the way, some great articles on here. That's interesting. Temporary ban on export of precious metals, waste, and scrap. Why is Russia want to impose a ban on scrap precious metals, or precious metals? Why? Because same thing, they don't want U.S. dollars. They don't want a U.S. dollar denominated Russia, nor does China. They want a ruble denominated, and maybe a gold-backed ruble denominated. And folks, when I say Chinese gold-backed currency and a Russian gold-backed currency, I'm not talking about these governments, any of these governments, including our own ever, printing a gold note that, let's say even a silver note, or that will be redeemable and usable by us. It's just never going to happen, folks. When I say that the Chinese government and the Russian governments and the BRICS nations are buying gold, they're going to back up their credit with other nations using gold, not with their people, not with their currency. You won't be getting gold coins, if you go to China to spend at the local shops there, they're going to back up their credit or their ability to trade with other countries. They're going to back up their currency with that because they realize what currency really is. It's a piece of paper, But unlike digital assets, at least you can wipe your ass with that piece of paper, and which happened in Germany, But in Germany, if they gave you a bunch of zeros and ones, you wouldn't even be able to wipe your butt with it. I'm sorry. All right, that's just needlessly bashing on that asset. Now, I'm talking about the wealth of countries, what that should be put in. A finite, tangible thing. Now, do I think there's anything wrong with the digital assets? No, not really. People are making great money. It exists out there. It's like professional gamblers that go out there and wager games. Even they get chips or something. But all right, let me not kind of go into that. Got no problem with people who are making big money on that. And God bless them. All right, let's move into X, which I've been on. I mean, here's Eric Jung. By the way, if you're on X, you definitely want to subscribe to this young man right here. He understands the Chinese community, the Chinese mindset when it comes to gold and precious metals. That's for sure. So definitely one of the guys you want to follow on X. I do. Writes a lot of good stuff out there. In fact, I'll click his page. What did he wrote this. I just saw this today. I noticed China's cut back on paper gold products again at their banks. Smart move, China. But at the same time, decreased physical gold silver participation at the SGE. This means China should have less paper gold products now and more physical buyers who are able to participate at the SG physical. Anyway, pretty cool stuff that Eric writes out there, and I think he's got his finger on the pulse of the Chinese gold buying market for sure. Another guy out there is Vince from, where is it, Vince? TB, there we go, Vince, TB, there it is. Oh, hang on, TBD, sorry about that. TBL, what am I thinking? And of course, he's not going to come up here, Vince. Well, anyway, I'll give you another good guy to follow. He's with, I think he does videos. Come on, Vince, where are you showing up, Vince? All right, never mind. For some reason, not pulling up here. My little search feature currently sucks on X. All right, but anyway, you get my point when I'm talking about the Chinese community. There he is. I'm sorry, there's Vince with Arcadia. Vince has got a video here, confirmed China's secret gold buyer. Again, the common theme here is what, folks? The common theme is the Chinese government, the powerhouse that they are in so many different levels. The powerhouse, let me rephrase this, that China has become economically, socially to some degree, and even in militarily, you name it, across the board is phenomenal. I mean, from again, plowing fields from 50 years ago when I was a kid, when a lot of China was not developed, to the major developed country it is today. I just hope that they can avoid the path to war and all this stuff, and avoid the mistakes that the Western nations have made with war. But again, I digress. But China is the buyer out there, folks. China is the 800-pound gorilla. China is what is causing the price of gold to go up dramatically, and will continue to go up and continue to rise, despite rising real rates in the United States, as you can see here. This China is probably the reason that you're seeing these two lines right here separate in a big major way. And that's just my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. Anybody wants to make a comment, put it in the comment section below, and let me know. All right, let's take a look here. Where are we going from here? I think that's pretty much it, folks. Not a lot to talk about. My feelings are, let me go into a couple things. By the way, I'm Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. I've been in South Florida since 1977, buying and selling gold coins and silver coins with my father, and rare coins. So if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, you live in South Florida, come by and see us. We've been in this location since 1995 in Lauderdale by the Sea. We'll beat the locals around here. We'll also beat the big online sellers like SD, JM, APMEX, and the competitive guys online, the big 800-pound gorillas, speaking of them, who I respect, by the way. You've got to try to beat the guys you respect, including the local guys. I'll beat their prices. But if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, we're here 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Feel free to come by anytime. We'll hook you up really good. And if you're can't find a good local dealer in your neighborhood, please don't hesitate to give us a call if you're looking to buy larger quantities of gold, silver, and platinum as well. Unfortunately, we're not set up to do smaller quantities, but if we can direct you in the right way or where to go for that, we will definitely do that. So feel free to give us a call between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays. I'm not always around, so don't hesitate to ask my staff as well. And where are we going from here? Well, we're going to go into last week's video that we did. And gold, silver, end of the year price forecast. I just wanted to be ahead of everybody else. And I'm pretty certain I'll be right. We'll see. But let me get a sip of coffee, by the way. And you know what? I got to tell you, there's something nice about being a small channel, is that you get to answer questions on your YouTube page, or your last video. Wow, it doesn't get smaller than that. 16 comments, but and you got all my guys out there, all my friends and stuff too. It's mostly that's all friends. Trust me, these are all friends of mine. So let me kind of go to the bottom here and answer a few questions here. Oh, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Good broadcast. Hey, listen, just a good pair of ears and a smart brain listening to it would recognize that. Thank you. And I appreciate that. I predict it'll be different than it is right now. I'm sure it will. That's a good prediction. I'm going to ask Eric McDowell, will the price of gold and silver go up? And all Eric's going to say is yes, or down. I'll say up or down, and he'll go yes. Just saying hello. Good to hear. Hey, you too, Linda Compton. Hopes all is well. The debt clock is just crazy, Wildcat. John Davis, very glad my prediction of stolen election was largely wrong. Yeah, me too. I just think it was just so watched. There were no, we weren't locked down, stuck in our houses. You know what I mean? We could go out and visually inspect things. We could go out and plus everybody was expecting it, so everybody was looking for it. And maybe, I'm glad it worked that way too. Government could disappear for 10 years to get back to zero. Yeah, that's about right, Chris. You're about head on with that, man. Silverliner says, how you doing, Silverliner? How long would it take to print all the money to pay off the debt class? Ask AI. Let me see here. 1 second. Let's see. That's probably a loaded question. Okay, let's ask AI because we can. You know what? That's why we can. How long would it take? Let's kind of go over to X and see what X's AI says. And I'm going to go back here. And where am I going to go? I'm going to go right there. And we're going to go to X. And here we go. Give me 1 second. Oh, hang on. Grok. I'm going to go to Mr. Grok. Let's see if Grok answers us here. There, Silverliner. Kind of gives you some interesting responses. Print the money to pay off the debt. If the U.S. government were to print enough money to cover the current national debt, which was around $36 trillion in 2024, it would lead to a rampant inflation. This is because increasing the money supply would corresponding with, okay, some pretty good stuff here. Wow. All right, I'm not going to read all this, folks. Good question, Silverliner. But meanwhile, I'm going to scroll down here. You can freeze your screen right now. And when you're done reading this, you can freeze your screen here again, and there you go. There's a reply from Grok. Let's go back over here to questions. That was a good question, Silverline. I'm kind of curious. I'll read the rest of that later. Brian, the voice of reason, until I'm not. I guess it's not always the case in things, right? You are till you're not. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Hope you had a nice holiday weekend. Hope you all had a nice holiday weekend. Hazel Vanderlei says, my only stock has hated... I have to look that up, and yeah, I hope the corruption goes away too as well. Brian, are you going to make it to another coin show in Baltimore in 2025? Yes, I do apologize for not making it to the last couple. I've been pretty negligent on coin shows. I mean, I'm spending a lot of time really. I've got things with family I got to take care of, obviously, but I'm spending a lot more time with trying to get things in my business more organized. And not that I'm terribly unorganized, but I've getting to the mindset where I'd like to fit everything I own into a small box and getting rid of a lot of stuff I've accumulated over the years, and a lot of other excuses. But anyways, I will make it to some more coin shows going up. I will be at the Fun Show in Orlando this winter, so catch me at the Winter Fun Show, and Lakeland coming up in February too. You can catch me at Lakeland, and the URL for that is thecollectoramashow.com, thecollectoramashow.com. If people are saying they can't buy 32 commit racks, buying one $32 cheaper, I just got to laugh. Yeah, but in the mindset, a lot of folks, when they see it drop, I don't know, it's tough. I can't fault people for feeling the way they do with precious metals. It's kind of a weird roller coaster ride. Again, it's a long, strange trip we've been through. Super Glenn says, okay, let's see. You obviously do not understand what's really going on in the world, what Trump is about to pull off. Trump has always been POTUS. We are under U.S. military control in the second term. If he accepts third is up, our entire government assistance coming down worldwide. I'm not quite sure what I don't understand, but I appreciate your comment there, sir. Super Glenn. I hope you have a nice day. Marcus Aurelius, hope to see you in the shop sometime soon. Be well. You as well. Welco Services. I got that nice little coffee cup that says be well. You're a breath of fresh air in a minefield of pumpers. Thank you. I appreciate that. Crypto Colonel in England. And Mark Hall, how you doing, brother? Don't you wish gold and silver was working 10 with 30 if you can't hold it down? I don't know. I don't really wish it was Bitcoin. We're independently moving along. Gold is probably where it should be to some degree, even though it is held down. But it's, again, denominated in paper fiat. Well, I guess that's it, folks. If you like my videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for sure. And please, anything in the comment section, always like to answer as long as it doesn't get too blown up big. And that's really it, folks. Hey, as I always say, think for yourself, question authority, question yourself mostly, because if you don't have it right, you ain't going to get it right. And that's it, folks. Again, if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any quantities, we're in South Florida, open 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays. I've been doing this for a long time. If you don't live in South Florida and you don't have a good local dealer, feel free to give us a call if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any larger quantities. Unfortunately, I can't do smaller quantities. But again, if you guys call us, ask one of my staff members. They can always try to point you to a good place to go if you don't have a good local dealer. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon, I hope. And that's it. Bye now.